Where there's a will, there's a way, right? We've all heard that. And there's a poem I share in the book, and I want to dissect it with you. It's called the Human Will Poem, and it's something that I heard years ago, and I thought, wow, I've got to get this into my brain. So actually, I wrote it out on my flashcard. Let me get it for you here. I wrote it out on my flashcard, and in this little black box, and I have all these like quotes and poems and thoughts and things in here, and this one right here, the Human Will Poem. It's kind of deep, so I'm going to share it with you and then break it down for you. And I'm just going to do it about from memory. I might botch it a little bit, but it's been etched in my brain. Welcome back. If you're new to the channel, my name's Ben Ward, and I've led sales teams for more than 20 years. Think of me kind of like your safari guide. I've navigated the sales and leadership jungle for a long time. I've been there, and I've come back for you. And in this video, we're going to talk about one of the principles from my book, Pluck the FUD, how to overcome fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And this video is about one of the 3 W's from chapter 8 that are stronger than any fear that we face. And when we anchor our focus here, we can withstand any challenge that we'll face. And if you haven't received your copy yet, you can get it at benward.com or just download it from the link in the description. And I'm confident you're going to get a ton of value from this video. And if you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. I want to hear from you either way, but tell me in the comments what I can do better for you. Trust me, if you're in sales or responsible for training and leading a sales team, you're not going to want to miss out on what you're going to learn in this video. Because it's one thing to know what it takes to achieve success, and it's a whole nother thing to get yourself to do what needs to be done, even when you don't want to, and especially when you don't want to. And also when it seems like the whole world is stacked against you, telling you you can't do it and you should quit. Now, by staying to the end, I'm going to share a bonus tip with you to help you smash through any fear, any uncertainty, any doubt, any roadblock that stands in your way from getting what you want. Okay, the 3 W's are your will, your why, and your way. And we're going to zoom into the first W, your will. We've heard it been said that, where there's a will, there's a way, right? We've all heard that. And there's a poem I share in the book, and I want to dissect it with you. It's called the Human Will Poem, and it's something that I heard years ago, and I thought, wow, I've got to get this into my brain. So actually, I wrote it out on my flashcard. Let me get it for you here. I wrote it out on my flashcard, and in this little black box, and I have all these like quotes and poems and thoughts and things in here, and this one right here, the Human Will Poem. It's kind of deep, so I'm going to share it with you and then break it down for you. And I'm just going to do it about from memory. I might botch it a little bit, but it's been etched in my brain. You will be what you will to be. Let failure find that false content in that poor word environment. But spirit scorns and it is free. It masters time, it conquers space. It cows the boastful trickster chance and bids the tyrant circumstance uncrown and fill a servant's place. The human will, that force unseen, the offspring of a deathless soul, can hew away to any goal. The walls of granite intervene. Be not impatient in delay, and wait as one who understands. When spirit rises and commands, the gods are ready to obey. Well, I know that's pretty deep, and in fact, it took me going through that probably, 30, 40 times before I started really understanding what it even meant. So I'm going to dissect it for you a little bit. First off, you will be what you will to be. Like what you really want, you'll end up getting, right? Where there's a will, there's a way. And your obsession becomes your possession. To me, it's a lot like Napoleon Hill's quote, what you think about, you'll bring about, or Waiteba. You may have heard that before. What you really want, you'll end up getting. You will be what you will to be. Now, let failure find its false content in that poor word environment. Okay, let's wrap our heads around this. It's easy to blame our environment for our failure. Something like, it's not my fault. maybe in sales, I just have a bad area. And it's easy to become content with mediocrity, blaming the environment or something outside of ourselves on why we weren't successful, and becoming falsely content by that, on why we couldn't succeed. Well, it's not my fault, so it's nothing I can do about it. So I'm just kind of like do you give a lullaby to a baby? You kind of lull it to sleep. You lull yourself to sleep to a lower standard. And one thing I've found in being in sales and leading sales teams for years is that the only area that matters, that really it's like the Trump area, is behind the eyes, between the ears. And so with the poem, it talks about, but spirit scorns, and it is free. When we scorn, we become free when we choose not to let circumstance be our reason for why we are not successful. We become free when we decide to take radical responsibility. The spirit inside us scorns at the temptation to blame circumstance. This is how we free ourselves from mediocrity and failure. Now, this is one of my favorite parts of the poem, and it took me years to really understand what this means. Though you're probably a lot smarter than me, so you'll get it quick, but the human will masters time, it conquers space, it cows or overthrows the boastful trickster chance. Oh, I was just lucky, or I just had bad luck, or I just had a good area, or I just had a bad area, or it was something outside, right? It cows, it overthrows the boastful trickster chance and bids the tyrant circumstance. Circumstance, it's not my fault. Uncrown that circumstance and fill a servant's place. Circumstance isn't going to rule me, right? Uncrown and circumstance, you're not reigning in my life. I am, and we put the reign on ourselves, taking radical responsibility. Well, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. I grew up poor. I don't have a dad growing up. I can't succeed because I was abused as a child. All very good and justifiable circumstances. And who's going to blame you? Nobody's going to blame you. But the only thing keeping you from what you want is the story behind why you can't have it. You got to ditch the story. And what you want to do is you want to focus on what it is you do want, your burning desire, and let that ignite you into action towards it. Because here's another from the little black box here. Another thought is this one right here. I heard this and I had to have it in my brain. And it's called "If You Want a Thing Bad Enough." And this little poem here: if you want a thing bad enough, to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time and your peace and your sleep for it. If only a desire of it makes your arms strong enough to never tire of it. If it makes you hold all things tawdry and cheap for it. If life seems empty and useless without it. If all that you scheme and you dream is about it. If you'll gladly sweat for it, fret for it, lose all your fear of God and of man for it. If you'll simply go after the thing that you want with all your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope, confidence, and stern pertinacity. If neither cold, poverty, famish, nor gaunt, nor sickness or pain or body and brain can turn you away from the thing that you want. If dogged and grim do you besiege and beset it, you'll get it. And so your will, what it is that you want, I challenge you to uncrown the tyrant circumstance from your life and allow the will inside of you to reign. Put that crown on, not the crown of circumstance. Well, when it comes to the boastful trickster chance, think about it. We hear this type of thing all the time. Yeah, they were just lucky. This comes from a prideful arrogance that seeks to excuse us from the responsibility to take action. The human will is powerful. It refers to our capacity to actively decide what to do instead of reacting automatically to circumstances and situations in our lives. Okay, now we've gone deep into this first W and into this poem that I share in the book and but I don't go into this length. And so this is a resource, this is an additional resource for you to go even deeper into how to apply the 3 W's. And I learned in the 80s as a struggling math kid, where there's a will, there's an A. And since this time, I've found this to be extremely true all throughout my life. Where there's a will, there's an A. Where there's a will, there's a way. Now, to get insights into the other 2 W's, make sure to pick up your copy of Pluck the FUD, How to Overcome Fear, Uncertainty, and Doubt, taught like never before. As a bonus, I want to challenge you to take action on 5 keys to help you bring what you want into your life. First, identify very clearly what it is in your life that you want. Get crystal clear on it. And you've got to really want it. It has to be a definite, as Napoleon Hill talks about, definite chief aim. Second, fixate on what it is that you want. You want to avoid fixating on what you don't want. It's normal to fixate on what you don't want. I don't want to hit the curb. I don't want to hit the curb. I don't want to hit the curb, and then whammo, you hit the curb, right? And so you want to fixate on what you do want, not on what you don't, right? So that's the second key. Third, you'll have bursts of thought as you're fixated on what you want and you engaged your will, that human will that rises up and says, this is what I want my life to be like. Fourth, capture these. Make sure you write them down in a trusted place outside of your brain and that you know that you're going to get back to. And then fifth, take action on them. As you do, something magic will start happening. Your eyes will start seeing things that will help you get what you want. Your ears will start hearing things that will help you get what you want. Your mouth will start saying things that will help you get what you want. Your heart will start feeling things that will help you get what you want. Your arms and your hands will start reaching towards things that will help you get what you want. Your legs and your feet will start moving towards things that will help you get what you want. I challenge you to engage your will inside of you. Get laser clear on what you want and go after it. And just as this poem that we read, if you want a thing bad enough, you can have anything. You can make anything happen that you want bad enough. And I challenge you to apply the first W, stronger than fear, your will. Make it a great day.
Why do you have to record it?
Just because the ball's cool. Look at that thing.
I'll do it from 3.
Oh, let's go! Dude, that is awesome.